fighters very well. They're two different type of fighters though. Bivol is a boxer. He moves around a lot, but he's solid. Bertabiev he's a train. Just comes at you, takes shots.
ARTUR BETERBIEV. He's a animal.
That Bivol has the determination, the will to win. With Beterbiev, we've seen him break guys' will to win.
ARTUR BETERBIEV and DMITRY BIVOL, unbeaten light heavyweight titans, are set for a historic clash to crown the division's undisputed king. Meanwhile, former pro boxer Paulie Malignaggi talks about how ARTUR BETERBIEV's age might affect his performance. He points out that power is usually the last thing to go with age, but using that power effectively might not be as consistent. Malignaggi emphasizes that strong fundamentals are key for a fighter's longevity. If you've got the basics down, you can keep going strong in the ring.
That Bivol has the determination, the will to win. With Beterbiev, we've seen him break guys' will to win. And that's the question mark here. Bivol, we kind of see him as a mentally very strong fighter. Well, okay, his will to win is not going to get broken. You know who came close was another Eastern fighter, Gvozdyk. Gvozdyk had done very well, but eventually, it took a little while, but eventually Beterbiev sort of outgunned him, you know, and he sort of...
Pro boxer Canelo Alvarez described the upcoming Beterbiev versus Bivol showdown as a true 50-50 fight. He acknowledged Beterbiev's serious potential to take the win, but also pointed out the high-stakes, competitive nature of this matchup. With both fighters packing the skills and power, Canelo sees this one as anyone's game.
No, I don't plan to travel. And then again, this is a 50-50 fight. A fight between two very accomplished fighters. Bivol's going to have a very tough opponent in front of him. It's going to be a good fight.
Despite the predictions, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn gave major props to ARTUR BETERBIEV, pointing out that DMITRY BIVOL has never faced a fighter with Beterbiev's unique blend of power and skill. Hearn called Bivol the underdog in this bout, emphasizing the massive challenge he's up against. He described Beterbiev as nearly unbeatable, saying his strength and toughness in the ring make him seem almost superhuman. For Hearn, it's Beterbiev's relentless style and unbreakable spirit that set him apart, turning this fight into a steep climb for Bivol.
Like, you're fighting a guy that's not human. You know, he's not breathing. Every shot hurts. Even in the clinches, you see how strong he is. I'm not sure I've seen anything like it before, really. It's like it's not right. It's just like it's an unfair advantage.
Jim Lampley got his money on Bivol. Plain and simple, it's the classic showdown, slick technician versus the heavy hitter. In his book, The Smart Fighter with Tight Defense usually schools the knockout artist. Jim's seen Bivol's grind firsthand, so he's got mad confidence in his game. Beterbiev's got that knockout power, but skill beats muscle more often than not, and that's why Jim's rolling with Bivol.
Who do you favor in that fight, Jim? Usually, the great technical fighter with defensive skills beats the superpower puncher. On the basis of that paradigm, I've got to favor Bivol. And I also know Bivol very well, and I know how he prepares, and I have tremendous confidence in him and always have. I don't know Beterbiev all that well. I do think he's a monster puncher. But great technicians have beaten monster punchers many times in the past, and until proven otherwise.
On the flip side, pro boxer David Benavidez sees DMITRY BIVOL as a real threat to ARTUR BETERBIEV. While he acknowledges Beterbiev's power and dominance, Benavidez points out that even the toughest fighters have their moments of vulnerability, and Beterbiev is no exception. He believes Bivol's mix of power, speed, and technical skill could pose a bigger challenge than any of Beterbiev's past opponents. In Benavidez's eyes, Bivol's strategic mindset and well-rounded game might just be the key to shaking up Beterbiev's usual fight dynamics.
You know, they're both extremely talented fighters, very well. They're two different type of fighters though. Bivol is a boxer. He moves around a lot, but he's solid. Bertabiev is a train. Just comes at you, takes shots. It takes shots to give shots. So what I'm looking at for this fight is Bivol has the power to hurt Beterbiev because Beterbiev has been hurt by Bosniak or Alexander.
Former pro boxer Nate Campbell highlights ARTUR BETERBIEV's serious punching power, raising the question of whether DMITRY BIVOL can handle it if they face off. While he acknowledges Bivol's solid boxing skills, Campbell points out that fighters with both technical skill and power are usually the most dangerous. With that in mind, he suggests Beterbiev might hold the edge in this potential matchup.
Knockouts. We once heard him hitting one of my friends was trying to get him on a podcast, and he was hitting the bag in the gym. And my boy said, God damn, who keeps slamming the door in your gym? He said, that is no back, that is no door, that is Artur hitting the back. Beterbiev. Until you prove me different, Beterbiev. How can you neutralize a puncher? I've seen you do it. Can you punch? You neutralize a puncher by being a bigger puncher. Tell me what guy was a bigger puncher. You find a bigger puncher. See, Bivol can box. I know he can box, but can he punch?
With the light heavyweight division heating, professional boxer DMITRY BIVOL expresses excitement over the growing momentum in the light heavyweight division, particularly with the push for an undisputed fight. He credits Turki Alalshik's involvement for driving this initiative, which has the potential to bring a new level of competition and recognition to the division.
You've been defending that WBA belt. Was you getting frustrated that the unifications weren't happening before Turki Alalshik come in and presented you with this offer?
Of course, I'm happy. I'm happy that in light heavyweight division there is a person who wants to make undisputed fight.
Building on his confidence, DMITRY BIVOL is fully prepared to give his all against ARTUR BETERBIEV. With quick thinking, sharp focus, and a repertoire of strategic moves, BIVOL aims to leverage every skill in his arsenal. He believes that by staying sharp and maintaining his focus throughout the match, he can outmaneuver BETERBIEV and secure a victory.
Without giving the game plan away, how do you believe you do beat Artur?
I just believe that I can use all my skills. I need to use all of it. I have to think fast. I have to be focused all the fight, and I could even.
As both fighters undergo mental and physical preparations, ARTUR BETERBIEV emphasizes that his upcoming fight with DMITRY BIVOL is the most significant of his career. He views this match as a pivotal step towards achieving the status of undisputed champion. With a strong focus and excitement for what lies ahead, BETERBIEV is determined to make this defining moment count.
Well, look, let's talk about it. Undisputed. That was the road for you to always become undisputed champion. Now you get that opportunity against DMITRY BIVOL. What does that mean to you as a fighter?
For right now, it's the biggest fight in my boxing career, and I'm really focused for this fight. I'm excited.
Pro boxer Dan Aziz shared his sparring experience with ARTUR BETERBIEV, recounting a moment when he was struck by one of BETERBIEV's punches. Aziz confessed that the instant he felt the impact, he immediately regretted stepping into the ring with the hard-hitting fighter. This story underscores BETERBIEV's renowned power and the physical intensity he brings to every match.
There's somebody that you sparred.
Yeah.
That's a serious threat, man.
Yeah,
like he's a serious man,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
There's man them from that way over there, bruv. Yeah. I would never want smoke with them in my life, bruv. And we're talking about Beterbiev. Yeah. Now you sparred Beterbiev. Yeah. I seen that man doing press-ups on his fingernails, man. Yeah. This is a mad thing. How was that like sparring him?
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't good. When I first got there, I can't lie, like after the first spar, I thought, yeah, what am I doing here? Like seriously, like do I really need to be here? Bruv, he had like 5 sparring partners like on a go. So if someone gets knocked out, yeah, they'll just drag him out, and next person. There were people who were like in the camp, they would have a spar, and then midway say, yeah, I'm all right.
Steve Geffrard analyzes the upcoming fight between BETERBIEV and BIVOL, describing it as a highly competitive 50-50 matchup. He leans slightly towards BETERBIEV, predicting a stoppage win. Steve suggests that BIVOL could be ahead on the scorecards in the earlier rounds due to his skill and ring IQ. However, he believes BETERBIEV's power and relentless pressure could eventually overwhelm BIVOL, resulting in a late stoppage.
Felt before, it's different because I've sparred tons of people. I've had over 150 amateur fights. I've fought people all over the world. I'm 21-3 as a pro, so I've been in the ring with a lot of people. But his power is just absolutely different, And like I said, unless I expect both fighters to bring their A game, unless he's, physically impaired, then okay, I think he could possibly lose.
Meanwhile, combat sports analyst Joe Rogan praises ARTUR BETERBIEV's dominance in the light heavyweight division, highlighting his flawless 18-0 knockout record. Despite being 37 years old, Beterbiev's blend of power and precision was evident in his swift victory over Joe Smith Jr., whom he defeated in just 2 rounds. This performance further solidified Beterbiev's reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, showcasing his relentless ability to finish opponents quickly and decisively.
Beterbiev is like 38. I think he's 38 or 37 or 38, something like that. But Google ARTUR BETERBIEV. He's a animal. Most guys by that age that are professional boxers, he's 37. Most guys by that age are starting to slide a little bit physically. Skill-wise, they can maintain. Dude, he's a animal. But Google the video of him knocking out Joe Smith Jr. because you could find it online. He's a animal. And Joe Smith Jr. is a dangerous guy. He's this big power punching guy. And this ARTUR BETERBIEV just him up, man.
Former professional boxer Chris Algieri highlights that Beterbiev, though known for his power, has underrated boxing skills, including excellent positioning, use of the jab, and balance. Meanwhile, Bivol also has enough power to gain respect in the ring and demonstrated his aggression in his last fight. The combination of skills in both fighters makes this matchup more than a simple boxer versus puncher scenario, adding intrigue to the fight.
A little bit of a stereotype here, but is that the overview? Do you look a little deeper than that? Is it the boxer in Bivol versus the puncher in Beterbiev? How do you see it?
Yeah, I think from a bird's eye view, it is that. It's the boxer versus puncher, the boxer obviously being Bivol, the boxer being Bivol, the puncher being Beterbiev. But if you look closer, especially if you have a trained eye, you realize that both these guys do both things well. Bivol has enough power that he gets respect. He's got a really sharp right hand. He can still hurt you. He showed that in his last fight. We actually came forward all night long. That was an impressive win against a very tough guy. Then you got Beterbiev, who has super underrated boxing skills, man. He is a great position. He's a position artist. He uses that jab, gets himself in position, has that great balance, able to deliver his power. A lot of interesting aspects that make this fight really, really interesting.
Kermel Moton initially favored Beterbiev to win before his injury, but now questions if Beterbiev can still move effectively enough to catch up with Bivol. He mentions talking to Beterbiev's sparring partners, who consider Beterbiev to be something different in the ring. Despite this, Moton is slightly leaning towards Beterbiev for the win. If he were to bet, he would put his money on Beterbiev.
I really don't know. Before the injury, I had Artur winning, but I feel like maybe now Artur ain't gonna be able to move his feet as good to, catch up to Bivol. Bivol might just box him for 12 rounds. But I spoke to some of Artur's old sparring partners that did like thousands of rounds with him, and they said he's something different.
Yo, every sparring partner I talk to.
They say he's something crazy, and so I really don't know. But I think right now I'm leaning towards Artur a little bit. I like Bivol though, but if I had to bet, I'm gonna put money on Artur.
Adding another layer of anticipation, pro boxer Israel Madrimov describes the Beterbiev versus DMITRY BIVOL fight as a true toss-up, but leans toward Bivol, having the upper hand. Supporting his teammate, Madrimov praises Bivol not only as a champion but also as a mentor, highlighting the valuable skills and insights he has gained from training alongside him.
Сейчас ждем октябрь, да? Октябрь, да. It's a very interesting fight, especially for us. For me, he's part of our team. He's a friend, and I think it's a 50-50 fight. But of course, I believe that Bivol has the edge, and I will be rooting for him because, he's great. He's a champion. He's a great person, a true champion, and I believe he's got the skills to persevere. I learned a lot from him as well. I've taken some things from him, from training together, and he's given me some things that I'm very appreciative of him.
Furthermore, Carson shared his prediction for the Beterbiev versus Bivol bout, indicating that Bivol could secure the win through a stoppage. He clarified that this wouldn't likely result from a knockout, but rather a referee intervention, suggesting that Bivol has the potential to dominate the fight to such an extent that it might prompt the referee to step in.
I think Beterbiev's great. I think he's a better boxer than people give him credit for. He's not just a knockout artist. But man, I think Bivol cooks him. I think Bivol absolutely
the whole time I'm
carves
watching.
his ass up.
Yeah, the whole
I think
time
he stops him. That's my hot take.
I don't got him
I think Bivol
stopping
stops him. Not like he knocks him out.
TKO.
I think the ref stops it, cuts or accumulation.
Lyndon Arthur, who has previously sparred with ARTUR BETERBIEV, shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated clash between Beterbiev and DMITRY BIVOL. Arthur acknowledged Bivol's superior technical skills and high boxing IQ, qualities that make him a formidable and challenging opponent. However, he also emphasized that Beterbiev's sheer power is a crucial factor that cannot be overlooked, suggesting that this fight will be a captivating contest.
I just want to ask you, obviously, as a man who shared the ring with DMITRY BIVOL, he's facing ARTUR BETERBIEV now. What's your thoughts on that undisputed match?
Well, I used to think Bivol was I still think Bivol was the best. Bivol was elite, but now I've seen that and I've felt Bivol doesn't hit as hard as what I think he needs to keep Beterbiev off. I've sparred Beterbiev. I know how hard Beterbiev hits in 16 ounces. I wouldn't like to take them shots in 10 ounces. Not for as long as that anyway. As a 12-round fight, and I don't know, man. Bivol's a boxer through and through, and he'll be happy to stay in there and box it off if it can be done. But
meanwhile, boxing trainer Greg Hackett has warned that DMITRY BIVOL is facing a formidable challenge in his upcoming bout against ARTUR BETERBIEV. Although Hackett predicts that Beterbiev will ultimately come out on top, he emphasizes that the victory will not come easily. He believes that Bivol will be pushed to his absolute limits, facing a relentless and grueling contest. According to Hackett, this match promises to be a tough, hard-fought battle, where both fighters will need to dig deep to secure the win.
Beterbiev will win, right? But I think Bivol will put him through hell before he gets the win. It's going to take a lot out of Beterbiev. It's going to take a lot out of Bivol. Bivol going to look like a hell of a boxer in the beginning. He might go up 6 rounds, but Beterbiev will catch up to him. The pressure getting to be too much.
Echoing this potential challenge, Teddy Atlas has identified DMITRY BIVOL as the favorite in the upcoming bout, suggesting that the fight could potentially end in a stoppage. Atlas speculated that Bivol's superior technical skill and strategic approach might be the key factors that pave the way for a decisive victory. He believes that Bivol's calculated fighting style, paired with his ability to exploit his opponent's weaknesses, could create the conditions necessary to overwhelm Beterbiev, leading to a possible referee intervention.
I got Bivol a solid favorite. For me, my line's going to be different than someone else's, but for me, I got him a solid favor. That I'll go all the way out, like I always go all the way out on the limb. I mean, I'm not going to stop now at this point in my life. I think there's a good chance he stops him late in the fight, either by cuts or by just an endless barrage of punches where, Beterbiev he's not a defensive wizard, right? I think that's fair. Where there'll be a steady barrage of combinations where finally the referee would probably have to stop it.
Joe Smith Jr., a boxer who has experienced defeats against both ARTUR BETERBIEV and DMITRY BIVOL, reflects on his encounters with each fighter. His bout with Bivol was notably competitive, even managing to knock Bivol down at one point. However, his fight with Beterbiev marked one of his toughest performances, resulting in a more decisive loss. Despite this challenging experience with Beterbiev, Joe believes that Bivol is the superior fighter overall. In a recent interview with Themistode, when asked which of the two opponents was more difficult to face, he acknowledged Bivol's skill and technical prowess, suggesting that Bivol might present a more complex challenge in the ring.
In my opinion, I felt Bivol was, the tougher fight for me. He's all-around fighter, but both fighters are very skilled. Beterbiev, he's very accurate with his punches. He hits you where he wants to. But, I would be looking for...
Teddy Atlas discusses DMITRY BIVOL's approach to the upcoming fight with ARTUR BETERBIEV, emphasizing Bivol's careful and strategic style. Teddy notes that Bivol is inherently cautious, always respectful of his opponent's power, which influences his tactical approach. He highlights that Bivol's strategy revolves around maintaining distance and using calculated movements to control the fight, ensuring he remains disciplined and not reckless in the face of Beterbiev's aggression.
What do you think about I guess you can think about Dwight Kwawi and Michael Spinks, and that would be a more closer to the modern era than I could go back to late eras. But yeah, this is special. I mean, the two champs said it right. Look, back in the day when the promoters used to come up with the titles for the promotion, for the poster, the tag that they would put on it, for this one, it's been used before, but it fits perfectly. And when I say it, I know it's going to go contrary to what Chris just touched on, and Chris is right. his skills are underrated, but this would be will versus skill. That's how most people would see this.
Former professional boxer Zhilei Zhang is excited about the prospect of a showdown between DMITRY BIVOL and ARTUR BETERBIEV. Zhang confidently predicts that Beterbiev's overwhelming power will result in a knockout victory, expressing doubt that Bivol's technical skills alone will be sufficient to withstand Beterbiev's raw strength. He believes that Beterbiev's power could ultimately be the decisive factor in the fight.
主要是贝特比耶夫的力量实在太大了，也抗击打能力也强，然后力量也大，他要是一直给比沃尔施压的话，比沃尔的技术估计发挥不出来。
Well, I think in that particular case, Beterbiev's power will overwhelm Bivol's, in and out footwork and his skill set. For the reason being, I think Beterbiev is just way too strong in his division.
Furthermore, musical artist Lonnie B contends that ARTUR BETERBIEV's remarkable knockout record and victories over top-tier fighters make him a more formidable opponent than DMITRY BIVOL. Lonnie B argues that Beterbiev's proven track record of success and power in the ring provides him with a significant advantage in a potential matchup against Bivol.
I mean, yeah, I think he would.
You think Bivol beat Callum Smith?
I think he would.
You think Bivol beat Alexander Volsnik?
I mean, Bivol hasn't lost. There's no blueprint to beat him just yet.
But here's my thing: he hasn't lost. But look at the caliber of fighters he's fighting. He shouldn't lose. The caliber of opponents he's fighting, he ain't fighting no monsters. If you look at Arthur's resume, he monster after monster after monster after monster. Who has Bivol? Man, actually, let me ask you this: when was Bivol's last knockout? I think I was like 2 years old. Let's come on. Listen. If we're gonna talk boxing, let's keep it a buck.
Barry Jones provides his analysis of the upcoming fight between Bivol and Beterbiev, highlighting the difficulty in predicting a clear winner. He mentions that it's a matchup between the two best fighters in the division, making it challenging to call. Although he initially picked Bivol to win, he admits he's not confident in his choice. Barry notes Beterbiev's reputation as a knockout artist, emphasizing his power and ability to finish fights at any stage, despite his age and recent injuries.
Quick ones, we were at the Beterbiev-Bivol press conference Wednesday, quite interesting. But what's your opinion on the fight itself? What's the Barry Jones breakdown?
Yeah, well, listen, it's such a hard fight to call, and that's what you want for the two best fighters in the division to be able to pick a winner quite easy. It's not what we need. We need to see it. Like I could tell you why I think Beterbiev's going to win, and I can tell you why I think Bivol's going to win. And in reality, I haven't got a clue. I mean, I think it'll really go down to who can impose their will or their ability, their skill set in the fight the quickest. And as I was saying the other day on the zone, I think what works for certainly for Bivol might not work in this fight, and what works for Beterbiev might not work. I picked Bivol from when it was first spoken about. I picked Bivol, and I tend to stick with my first assumption because it's not just I don't just say Bivol. I have a reason behind it. Yeah. But I wasn't confident then. I'm not confident now. Beterbiev should be the massive favourite.
Barry Jones discusses Beterbiev's strengths, particularly his footwork and ability to close the distance in the ring. He acknowledges that this fight is highly anticipated among boxing fans, with nearly unanimous interest. Barry describes it as a boxing fan's fight, emphasizing its significance in the sport.
He's knocked everyone out. He's knocking out good boxers. He's knocking out good big punchers. He's knocking them out in the first round. He's knocking them out in the last round. He's 40 years of age, I think. Might be older. Who knows? But and he had the injuries that are appearing. There might be wear and tear, but he has good footwork. Not the footwork of Bivol, but it's just as good. It's different, but it's just as good. He can't get out of trouble as quick as Bivol can, but he closes the distance. He eats up your space. You can ask 100 boxing. You can ask 1 million boxing fans, which is the fight you'd want to see the most. And 99.9% of them would pick that fight, as you would, as we all want. It might not be the marquee fight, but it's the boxing fans fight.
Yeah. Only 2 weeks away as well. Barry lost one.
Do you think DMITRY BIVOL is intimidated by ARTUR BETERBIEV's knockout power, or will he face the challenge head-on? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest boxing news and insights.